know it's been a while, but New Year's Eve is finally here, which means it's time for the top 10 movies and least favorite movies of 2020. Now, obviously, with COVID, there was cinema restrictions. Australia combated that pretty decently. So we didn't miss out on too many movies at the cinema, but there was obviously a lot that were missed or delayed. So this is going by release dates in Australia. So starting off is number 10. I actually went with a tie for this movie, basically because the same actress is in both movies and I want to show her all the love possible. So number 10 is The Babysitter, Killer Queen, and Guns Akimbo. I really adore Samara Weaving and she's fantastic in both of these movies. They are both absolutely hilarious in their own way. She just controls the screen no matter what film she's in, and they're both just really funny, really kind of gory action flicks that I just absolutely loved. If you haven't seen either of them, I highly recommend it. So The Babysitter, Killer Queen is the sequel to The Babysitter on Netflix. So if you've watched this first one, you're most likely going to really enjoy the second one. Number 9 just came out. A lot of people have been talking about it. There's been filled with buzz. And it's on Disney Plus, which is called Soul. I didn't know too much about this film going in. I just know like a lot of people were really enjoying it. So I was watching it. I wasn't too into it. I wasn't really loving it too much, but I did really appreciate the animation style and the way they were telling the story. It was really quite interesting. But then as you get towards the end of the film and the real meaning and story they were going for, it really stays with you. It really gets you to think, like, what is my spark? What is my purpose? Like, what am I doing with my life? Especially, I feel like a lot of people felt that way this year. But it is definitely just one of those films that will just stay with you. It is really touching and the ending of it was really brilliant. But just the animation style alone, I will not be surprised if this gets nominated for an Oscar and cleans up. It was just a absolutely beautiful film. Number 8 is Bill and Ted Face the Music. Growing up, I absolutely loved Bill and Ted 1 and 2. I always wanted them to make more films and now it's finally here. I'm probably biased just because I love Keanu Reeves so damn much, but I really enjoyed the film. And another Samara Weaving film. Like, she's just killing. I just love her. Really. Just, if you haven't heard of Samara Weaving, just go check out her films. She's an Australian actress and she's just brilliant. Bill and Ted, the storyline's pretty predictable, but I feel like you're not really here for the storyline. You're here for the laughs. You're here for the nostalgia. And it doesn't just feel like a simple money grab. I feel like they actually did put a lot of effort into the story, a lot of effort into the new characters. And I really enjoyed it. The same with number 7, which is Bad Boys for Life. I waited for another Bad Boys film for a very long time. I never thought it was going to come. And then when they finally did bring out, I'm like, oh god, don't tell me it's just going to be a simple money grab. It's going to be really shit. But no, they actually put a lot of effort into the story. They did a lot with the story, a lot with the action, a lot with the new characters. They've made it so they could make more if they want to, and it would make sense. It's not just, hey, here's all this cool action, but we're just going to keep pumping them out. Like, as much as I love Fast and the Furious, that's basically what they're doing right now. Their storyline makes no sense and they just keep pumping them out. I really enjoyed Bad Boys for Life and it was really funny. Will Smith and Mark Lawrence coming back was fantastic. This one actually ended up making me cry because I wasn't just expecting the captain's storyline, and yeah, I just felt like it wasn't just a simple money grab. I just really enjoyed it. Number 6 is A Secret Dad's Dream. So this one is loosely based off the book A Secret. It's basically positive thinking, like the way you think of life and the way you envision life is like what makes it good, what makes it bad. If you're having a negative outlook, you're going to have a negative life. So I really did appreciate the effort and story they created for this movie. If you enjoy Nicholas Sparks movies, like obviously the books adapted for the movies, like The Notebook or Walk to Remember. You will love this film. It's basically those kind of films. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the performances and just the story. Again, very predictable, but I found it really touching and really enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm just distracted. There's like a group of ducks walking past and they're really cute. So far, number 10 was A Babysitter Killer Queen, Guns Akimbo, Soul, Bill and Ted Face the Music, Bad Boys for Life, A Secret, Dare to Dream. This brings me to the top 5. So number 5 is Tenet. Obviously, Christopher Nolan is a huge director. A lot of people go check out his films just because it's Christopher Nolan. I didn't really understand what Tenet was about based off the trailer. I'm like, this looks interesting. I'm going to go see it anyway because Christopher Nolan's film. I'm also a huge fan of Robert Pattinson. I know a lot of people shit on him for his Twilight days, but he is an amazing actor. If you have only ever seen him in Twilight and haven't watched any of his other films, please check them out because he is brilliant, especially in his indie films. Usually he only picks these big blockbusters, so his indie films will get the budget they need. So this is what brought me into it. And I loved Tenet. I don't really understand why a lot of people struggled to understand what was going on. I understand it really well, which either means I was just paying more attention or I'm just have no idea what was going on. I was completely wrong anyway. But the way they got the actors to actually learn how to speak backwards, learn how to fight and move backwards, like they put so much effort into this film and I really enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen Tenet yet, really you should take the time and watch it. It is a lengthy film and a lot of people, I will admit, didn't understand it. So like when you're free and have that time that you won't get distracted, it's definitely the time to check it out. Number 4 is 1917. This came out the 16th of January for Australia. I think maybe it came out earlier in the States, like last year, but it was 2020 for us. Fantastic war movie. It is so intense. Based off the trailer, there was a lot of things I wasn't expecting that did happen really early on in the movie. Really intense. I really loved it. If you enjoy war movies, there is 2 war movies on this top 10 list. This is the first one and I highly recommend checking it out. The acting, the storyline, it was just all absolutely brilliant. The way they edit it, the music, like the music is what really helps the intensity level. I believe it did win a lot of awards at the Oscars. It's been a very long time, but I did just adore it. I know a lot of people did see it when it was out in January, but if you haven't yet and you enjoy war movies, definitely want to check out. This was also a really good and bad year for horror movies. There was a lot of horror movies that came out. And while a lot of them were actually really good, there was some that were really shit. One of the really good ones that was surprisingly amazing, more amazing than I could have thought, was Freaky. Essentially, it is from the creators of Happy Death Day, and it's like a Freaky Friday type film. The serial killer changes bodies with a teenage girl. And it's basically the serial killer is now in this girl's body, and she's still going around murdering people. And this girl is now in Vince Vaughn's body, and she's wanting to get her body back, and with the help of her friends. It was just an absolutely hilarious and fantastic and surprisingly gory film. I did not think I was going to love it as much as I did, but I just adored the shit out of it. And it's really good representation of a lot of different groups that you don't usually find in movies. It was just fantastic, and they hold nothing back when it comes to murdering. Like, it reminded me a lot of the Scream franchise. Like, they didn't hold much back. And I just really enjoyed Freaky. So if you haven't seen it, highly recommend checking it out. Number 2 is the other war movie, is The Outpost. This movie was intense. I know I said 1917 was intense, but goddamn. They're in this one area, which is basically a sniper's dream. If you've played a Call of Duty, you kind of just, you've experienced this before, where you're like a sitting duck and they're just shooting down on you. It is a phenomenal movie. The performances, they hold nothing back. Like a lot of these movies that I really love this year hold nothing back. It's brutal. 1 minute they're there and fine, the next minute they are dead. It's like a blink of the eye, and it's just, it was a really, really good movie. I ended up buying the book after seeing the movie because he's based off a book, and I haven't read the book yet because it's massive, and I just haven't had that time. But it's just been, it was just an incredible movie, and the story and their lives just kind of stuck with me, because at the end of it turns out they didn't have to be there at all. They shouldn't have been there. And like, a horrible fucking way to die when you didn't have to be there. It is an absolute joke. And wow, just The Outpost is a brilliant movie. If you're into war movies, if you enjoyed 1917, if you enjoyed Danger Close from the year before, definitely recommend checking this out. And this brings me to number 1, which again was a movie we got early January. It was the very first movie I saw at the cinema this year. And I know in the States they got it last year. So it is a 2020 movie for Australia. If you haven't seen this film, please, please, please check it out. I have been driving one of my work colleagues nuts because she hasn't seen it yet, and I love it so fucking much, is The Gentleman. So Guy Ritchie directed this film. He is a fantastic director. I adore all of the movies he's directed. Obviously, you have his classics like Snatch, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, but you've also got his Sherlock Holmes film. He did Aladdin. He's just a fantastic director, and this movie is fantastic. If you haven't seen The Gentleman, I highly recommend it. Not only for Guy Ritchie as a director, but you've got Charlie Hunnam, you've got Hugh Grant, Matthew McConaughey. They are all brilliant in this film. Henry Golding. There is just so many cast members, and every single one is brilliant in their own way. And I love this film. The dialogue is hilarious. The storyline is great. There's not enough words to describe how much I love this movie. Please, please, please watch The Gentleman if you haven't yet, because it's my number 1 movie of 2020 and I fucking loved it. So, to recap, my number 1 was The Gentleman. Number 2 was The Outpost. Number 3 was Freaky. Number 4 was 1917. Number 5 was Tenet. Number 6, A Secret Dare to Dream. Number 7, Bad Boys for Life. Number 8, Bill and Ted Face the Music. Number 9, Soul. And number 10 was a tie with The Babysitter, Killer Queen, and Guns Akimbo, which I can't believe I have 3 Samara Weaving films on this list. She's amazing. Check her out. Next coming up is my top 10 least favorite movies of 2020. So please check that out. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know your favorite movie of 2020. Bye.